the springiest spring day of all of spring, and I'm not sure it's officially spring yet, but this is what we're making. One of my favorite spring dishes. It is lamb chops. It's perfect for Easter, and if you've never tried to cook lamb chops, you're not going to find an easier way to do it than this. And if you are a lamb lover, you're going to love the way it's done. I'm not sure if everybody cooks theirs the same. I know I have tried several different recipes, and this is our favorite recipe. And so what you will need for your lamb chops is mint. And I have just bought mint in the vegetable department of the grocery because I have not started our mint yet. And I usually grow it in pots because if you've ever grown mint, you know it can take over your entire lawn. So I usually grow it in pots, and I can keep it contained. And then you will need a garlic, and I buy the paste or chunky garlic that's made by Gourmet Garden, and you can find that at your grocery in the vegetable department as well. And then you will need extra virgin olive oil. This is Bertolli's. You will need a gallon Ziploc bag. If you do not have one, don't fret. Just use a bowl with the top and you'll be fine. And then of course you're going to need your lamb chops. Now, you know from my Costco video, my favorite things at Costco, one of those items is lamb chops, and I usually buy their rack of lamb. Well, I did not go to Costco, and one reason is because I can't go in Costco without spending a couple $100s, and I did not want to do that today, so I went to the grocery and they had these lovely lamb chops, and these are a bit thicker than I would like, but that's okay. I'm just going to cook them a bit longer. So you will notice that these are not uniform in shape either, because if you buy the rack of lamb, you can cut them as thin as you want, and they will all have the same size. This one is much larger than, say, this or this, but that's just the way it was packaged in the store. But I got 3 lamb chops per person, and if you have extra hungry guests or family members, then go for 4. But we are also going to make sides to go with this lamb. So let's get started and marinate the lamb chops. First thing you want to do is wash your mint, because it's been in the package and you want it to be fresh and clean. So I'm going to take several sprigs of mint and wash them. And then I'm going to allow them to pat dry, and I'm going to take off some of these giant stems. Actually, the best way to do it is just take the leaves off of the stem and allow them to dry. You don't need these stems at all. And I wish you could smell this. It is incredible. At one time I had a mint candle, and I love that. That reminds me I need to buy another because it's so wonderful to smell. It's just so aromatic, and I love, love, love it. So you can use as much mint as you want, and if you are a mint lover, just use it all. I have tried dry mint with this recipe, and it doesn't have enough flavor. I'm going to use it all because this is smelling so wonderful. We're going to pat that dry, just enough to get the water out of it. And then we're going to put our lamb chops in this bag. So I just drop them in. And then we're going to put all of our yucky, dirty things away. Let's add our garlic, and I am not even going to measure this garlic. Just put maybe 4 dollops, or 5. I'm putting 5. I put 5 little dollops of garlic, and I am guessing that a dollop is maybe a teaspoon. And then I'm going to work that into the lamb. Try to get every lamb chop. Now I'm going to add a splash. I know this is not exact measurements, but a splash of olive oil. And then we're going to work that into the lamb chops. And the earlier you can start marinating these lamb chops, the better. I have marinated them overnight. I have started them in the morning, marinating for the evening, and then I have just done it for a couple of hours, and you can't go wrong with it. But the longer they marinate, the better they are. So now we are going to add all of our mint leaves. Ooh, there's a one I don't like. Okay, so let's add all of these mint leaves. And I'm going to seal it up and massage all of that in. Because if you can bruise those mint leaves in with the meat, it makes it, I don't even know if you can hear me over this. If you can bruise the mint leaves and release that mint oil and it sets into the lamb, oh my gosh, it is fantastic. So what we have are our lamb chops with a marinade of mint leaves, garlic, and olive oil. And we're going to marinate these for at least 2 hours, but I would say up to 12 or 16 hours. And you're going to put it in the refrigerator, and then we're going to come back and I'll show you exactly how to cook them. Our lamb chops have been marinating for quite a while, and I've allowed them to sit out at room temperature for more than a half an hour, so the red meat will be at an even temperature because I'm going to grill these. Now, I don't know if you have a George Foreman grill, but I use mine a lot, probably only second to the coffee maker. And the reason I love it so much is because the fats from the meats rolls off and you don't have such fatty meat to eat, but you do get that flavor, that wonderful flavor. So we're going to plug this baby in and we're going to get it warmed up and put our lamb chops on, and I'll show you exactly how it's done. You can hear it sizzling. And you notice I left the mint leaves on the lamb chops. That gives it that extra flavor because I want it charred both on the meat and the mint leaves. Incredible. You're going to love this recipe. While the lamb chops are cooking, we're going to make a side. We're going to make a caprese salad, and you will need fresh basil. You will need tomatoes, and you will need a mozzarella cheese. And this is Boar's Head mozzarella cheese. And let me rinse these off. And just like our mint, we're going to pat it dry. And we're going to separate the leaves from the stems. Nothing smells fresher than basil. Oh, it is incredible. Well, I can't say that because rosemary is another one that is really great. So we're going to pat those dry. We just don't want all of the water in the salad, and so we're going to let them sit just a moment. And then we're going to slice a tomato, always washed. I can't wait for the really great summer tomatoes to come in. We're going to cut off the top. Now, if you're one who likes to peel their tomatoes, be my guest. I am not, because I don't have much luck with peeling a tomato and it staying together. And you need it to stay together for this recipe. So we have our tomato, and we're going to slice it in 3 or 4 nice slices. And what you hope for is tomato slices that look that pretty. They don't always turn out that way. Then we're going to set those aside. Let's bring in our plate. Let's set those aside. Now we will slice our mozzarella cheese. You want a nice thickness to your mozzarella cheese, but you don't want it too thick, because then you're going to be completely full of cheese before you even have your lamb chops. So we are going to slice this like so. Then we're going to bring in our next 2 ingredients for this salad, and that is extra virgin olive oil and then a balsamic glaze. Now you can also use a reduction, which is basically the same thing. It's a thicker version of balsamic vinegar. It's been reduced and thickened. So that is also Bertolli's. Now let's plate our salad. We have a layer of tomato. We have a layer of mozzarella. Let's add our leaves of basil, and let's have some that are out to the side so they look beautiful. You know, I've said in the past that a lot of good cooking is all about presentation, so you want it to look beautiful. We have now stacked our tomatoes, our mozzarella cheese, and our basil leaves. So let's drizzle this with just a bit of olive oil. And our balsamic glaze. And you can be as artful as you like when you drizzle this. And I like to put little dollops along the plate so you can dredge your tomatoes and mozzarella cheese. How is that? It looks delicious, doesn't it? And how simple was it? Fantastic! If you don't have a grill like that, don't worry. You can use a skillet. It's just fine. I think that you may enjoy them seared this brown. I love the char on these. And if you don't like your lamb chops that well done, they're going to taste just as delicious, medium or rare as well. So we're going to add this to our plate. There's that giant one. Looks so good. And then I have made some wild rice to accompany this, but you could use pasta or potatoes in it. makes a beautiful presentation. So if you have guests in or just your family wants something special this weekend, this is it. And I suggest pairing it with your favorite red wine. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you enjoy your upcoming weekend. And if you're not a subscriber, please tap the subscribe button. And hey, follow me on Instagram. Bye.